I am your host, Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Moore, Crystal Cleveland, and Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. With me this week is my co-host Jeff Moore. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Howdy doody.
Howdy doody! Man, you take us back there, sir. You take us back.
It's howdy doody. You know, when I was a kid, my dad told me lures were designed to catch fishermen, but I don't know what the luring is designed to.
The Luring. Yes, that is the movie we are covering tonight, The Luring. But first, we have more guest hosts to introduce. Up next is Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead Girl. Crystal, how you doing?
Good. I'm super excited to talk about this one.
You hold it all back. Don't just settle down. Settle down. You're elevating too high.
I can tell by your facial expression. It's
all right.
Very well composed.
Also joining us tonight is my favorite buddy, Dave Dreher. How you doing, Dave?
You're scaring me, Doc. You're scaring me.
Again?
I'm doing well. Nice to be here with y'all again.
It is. I am so glad to see you. You know, Dave, we've been doing this for 7 years. I said that last episode. I said the episode before that. I'm going to say it again because it's amazing, man, that we've been doing this together over 7 years now. And it's so much fun. But what we do is we review streaming, horror films on video on demand, or they might be at a film festival or whatnot. But we're doing a film from Wild Eye Releasing. It's called The Luring. So let's talk about it. This film has a great poster art. Well, maybe it's Photoshop, but we love it. I kind of like the idea. If darkness calls, you might not want to pick up that phone call. The Luring is available on digital and VOD June 16th. So it is out now from Wild Eye Releasing. Is from writer-director Christopher Wells. It is about a man who tries to recover lost memories by returning to his family's Vermont vacation home, where an unspeakable act took place, leaving him institutionalized as a child. The cast includes Rick Irwin, Dan Berkeley, Molly Fahey, Henry Gagliardi. This is why I trip up all the time. Gagliardi and Michaela Sprague. It's interesting. So let's, guys, shall we take a look at the trailer while we dive into our first impressions? And I'm having trouble here. Technical difficulties. Here we go. So this is another Wild Eye film, as I described, and well, I think we just need to dive into this. So, who's the lucky roll of the dice?
Scene.
Oh, somebody spoke up. All right, Crystal.
Oh, and there she is.
Yes, give us your first impression.
So
your first impression of
okay.
The Luring.
Oh boy. So I will say that I think that the acting was good up until a point where I think that maybe any actor would be pushed into a difficult role. Like not everyone is Jack Nicholson. Not everyone can pull that off. And this was evident. But I think overall the acting was good otherwise. Okay. I think the cinematography was nice. I think that the lighting was cool. I think it had some interesting shots. And then we get to the meat of this movie. And the meat of this movie is the story, the plot, and oh boy, unfortunately, this was just a mess for me. It borrowed heavily. I would say almost plagiarizes Stephen King and pulls so many different things from a lot of different books and melds them into this thing that they're calling The Luring. I'm so sorry. Wild Eye Releasing has released some really good stuff, but this one is definitely not one that I would watch again. It had some truly awkward moments. I feel like it was definitely sexist and misogynistic. It was just really insulting in so many ways. And if it was trying to be an homage to Stephen King, whoever wrote it has no idea what that is. And this isn't it. So sorry. Like I said that there were some good things, but the story ruins it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, there are good things, but there are elements in this. I think insulting is a word that I feel as well. There were parts of this that really got under my skin, not in the way they intended, I don't think. But let's find out what the rest of the crew think. Dave Dreyer, you're up next. As he chuckles, what is your first impression of The Luring?
I really dislike this film.
You
tremendously.
really dislike this movie. Oh,
yeah. To say that it borrows heavily from Stephen King is a massive understatement. The visual imagery, it certainly doesn't borrow from his writing. That's for damn sure. But the visual imagery, just all over the place. I mean, Crystal hit the high notes. The Jack Torrance moment was just absolutely laughable. Unfortunately, and then that whole thing with the first time we meet after he comes back and the lady's in the basement with the black mask and the real red lipstick. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? What is this? It was. I think some of the cinematography was nice. I mean, they kind of go for some of those like Stanley Kubrick Overlook Hotel type shots, like the big sweeping vistas, and those look really good. I think the cinematographer, the DP has some talent, and Crystal hit the nail on the head. The story is what is what really knocks this one down. It's just really, really not good, and it borderlines on being downright insulting at times. So this was not good, Doc. This was not
good. Yeah, I mean, we get the trailers, we get the descriptions, it's like it entices us, we look forward to it, and then, sometimes this happens. But we don't know yet. There could be a shining light. We still have Jeff Moore. Jeff Moore could love this. Let's find out.
We could.
We got to find Jeff. Do not insult Jeff.
My lights are out.
All right, Jeff Moore, what is your first impression of The Luring? Oh, man, come on. Love it.
My lights are out. They're not shining forth. I like Dave using the word laughable because there was a point at fairly early on in this movie, at least in the first act, where I was laughing out loud. The dialogue and the acting, and I thought, oh, this is supposed to be a spoof. And then as it went another 10 minutes or so, I went, oh no, they were serious. This film can't decide what it wants to be. I think it's is it a psychotic serial killer of a kind? Is it a house? Is it a witch? I don't get the whole thing with the Dave described the woman with the mask on. There was something going on there, and then she disappears until the final act or final scenes.
Well, she was the sister of the boy that got hung.
Yeah. But that was supposed to be. That's supposed to be.
She shows up with
it's obvious.
Oh.
She shows up in the mask, and then but you're feeling like this is going to be a common thing, and then oh my God, this guy sniffing that paper. I don't know where that comes from. That was just
that whole scene
was just obscene.
So
how you could make
and the girlfriend's up getting ready to do the nasty up in the room, and he's down there sniffing the paper, and I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
He's down there going.
Yeah. You think he's doing a little more, but then when they pan back from him, he's got his pants on and everything. So,
so bizarre.
And then there's this clown, which is not.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even think about.
Right? What is that?
Yeah, that's the stilted.
Yeah,
clown,
there just was all this stuff that made it just didn't fit together. There was no.
They were just
real coherent thread.
Pulling imagery from Stephen King films.
Yeah, it's so
well,
weird.
and the balloon, of course, the balloon.
Oh, well,
yeah, the red balloon, and how that whole thing, that whole elongated scene of the little boy trying to talk the autistic boy into putting the noose around his neck, and I was just like, oh my God,
that the whole scenes with the kids was was insulting. I really was put off by that. That really struck the wrong nerve. I don't think they were intending to, but I just don't feel like they know what the hell they're talking about.
Well, look at the way they wrote the girlfriend character. Are you kidding me?
Well, she's
kidding me? I am, as a woman, I am so offended by this character because she is a pathetic, weak woman who's like, just treat me like poop. I love you. I want you to marry me.
Can I make you supper?
Are you kidding me?
What the hell was that? Like he goes like, I've got to go to the bar and get a drink. Yeah, you go to the bar and get a drink, and I'll make.
Oh, and then you can meet up like with your little ghosty friend, like that. Oh, it was so. They were just so plagiarizing.
You know, if they had put something in the story that gave a rationale for her behavior, you know, was she abused or was she? Yeah, because she was totally not. It just wasn't. And
they contradicted it with the devil ghost character, whatever that guy was with the hat, who I liked. I actually thought that. I kind of liked the guy.
The realtor.
He was kind of a cross.
I loved him.
Yeah, he was kind of a cross between the Dick Halloran character. Yeah.
I mean, he was. I liked the idea, and I kind of. Yeah, I wish they had more of that.
Your money's no good here, Mr. Torrance. I expected him to say that.
I liked his hat. That was a good hat. He had a good hat going on.
He did have a good hat. I liked that hat. And I thought he was fun, too. He had, at the beginning when he's, the prologue, I thought he was pretty damn funny. But it wasn't.
I just like the actor.
Yeah. But it wasn't funny like the girl with the mask on. Apologies to the actress, but that was a little. Thankfully, that didn't last long, and she was better without the mask. But she was.
That was weird. Oh, he's looking at her shoes at one point, isn't he?
What is he doing? But his character, or Garrett. Oh man, I'm gonna just take a 2x4 to Garrett's head.
Yeah.
What a awful character, and we're following this weasel through the entire movie, and. It was painful. It was a chore. It was a chore.
Big time.
Yeah, I really think you're right. It was an attempt to try to make him be, sort of draw a parallel with Jack Torrance, but there was no establishment whatsoever of this guy ever being a nice guy. And when you see him as a kid in the flashbacks, he was always a jackass.
He was an asshole.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then the parents. I thought that was kind of like the parents were so protective of him or so whatever of him that they bought all the presents. So, oh man,
it's kind of like that. What's that Twilight Zone episode? It's a beautiful
yes.
God, I can't. You know which one I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Where everybody tiptoes around the kid because he has powers. It was kind of like that. We don't let you give him presents because what if he doesn't like him?
What if he doesn't like it? Yes.
Yeah. Didn't Bill Mooney play him in the original?
Yes.
Show?
Yes.
Not the movie, but the show, because they redid that one. But this thing's nothing like that. Nothing like that at all.
No.
You made fun of the clown, but I thought that actually worked.
Well, the clown was one of the better parts, but it didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
They could have shown the clown at the kid's birthday party. Why didn't they do that? And then it explains why he's there.
Exactly.
But no,
it was just their Pennywise. I mean, it was their attempt to put a Pennywise in there.
I mean,
it was a nice visual, but it didn't make
nothing
any
very.
sense.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he was so tall he could look into the second story window.
Yeah.
That was pretty damn creepy. But she was a mess, and
it was sad. Like I was like, girl, really? And what's funny is before it was even said that, I think she's always saying it's beautiful. I was listening to her and I was like, damn, girl, why are you saying it's so beautiful? Like you have nothing to say. Like they made her, it's like I said, it's insulting. They made her an airhead and like she's just, I will follow my man. It is so beautiful. It is such a lovely day.
And what was up with her showing her feet all the time? Did you notice that too? They kept when in the shower scene, they just kept focusing on her feet.
Yes.
I was expecting that to mean something, but nope.
Yeah. And then there's another shot with somebody else in the shower, and we see her feet, and I'm like, okay, what fetish mush? What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Who knows what they had in mind? I'm trying to come up with stuff
maybe.
I liked, and I can only find two things. I keep thinking he's more like the devil. He seemed like he was the instigator of all it, but the
realtor,
realtor guy at the beginning who plays different characters throughout. And then I kind of like the clown. The balloon got on my nerves, although
they used it a lot as well. I think they used it too much.
But his transformation, the character Garrett's transformation, I felt like
there wasn't a transformation. That's the problem. Well, he was a dick as a kid, and he's a dick as an adult. He's a dick.
Then he just gets super dick, and
yeah, it's like if he had been
that's a transformation.
Yeah, it's like there's no character development for any of them. Sorry, there's not. It's very strange.
Then you find out he seems a little nice at parts at the beginning, but right away, not too long, you find out he's cheating on her when she was on vacation in Paris, and so anyway, it was.
They already set him up that way because he got the letter and he was excited about meeting her, right? And
some other woman.
So when the girlfriend shows up, I was like, did he bring her with? I don't understand, right? It was like the girlfriend came out.
He didn't care. He He slept with her friend, and then her friend was at the birthday party. Okay, he is a total piece of poop.
He was,
and that's what I think that's not the only problem with this, but that is a major flaw. If you don't have a hero or a hero type, your movie will be flat, to say the least.
So there's something going on with the house and the guy with the hat and the balloon, and it just there was no attempt to tie it together. It was just because we find out that there's another kid that's done the same thing there earlier, right?
And two more.
Or in between or whatever. It just so that's what happens.
Yeah. Was it a ghost story or not? I mean,
it wanted to be, but then it isn't. I don't know. They
don't know. That's why we don't know.
Well, if they do, they didn't put it. Well, I'm going to shut up because I'm going to insult somebody that I don't want to do it. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score, and our favorite scene. And we can't all choose the same one, so this is going to be fun. All right, Crystal, you're up first.
I get to go first, guys. Guess what? You're going to have a way harder time picking favorite scene than me.
Oh, no.
There's a method to my madness. No, okay. So don't watch this movie. I am literally giving this the worst score that I've ever given a gruesome film. And I'm giving it a 0.5. And I have never given a film a 0.5. And it's because of the horribly rude, insulting story is something that should have absolutely been dealt with. And I could have seen with the talent that they had, I think they could have done something, but they didn't. So my favorite scene is the clown when he's knocking on her window. Of course, it's the only scene in the movie that's even got I love clowns.
You left us with Slim Pickens. All right. Well,
no Pickens.
No Pickens. No Pickens. Slim Pickens. There's a song in there somewhere. All right. Dave Jerry, you're up next. What is your final thoughts, your score, favorite scene?
I am going to mirror Crystal here. I was actually going to give it a 1, but I'm actually going to down tick it to a 0.5 as well. Yeah. Well, there's really not any redeeming value to this film at all. The only thing that's even kind of good is some of the shots. Some of the cinematography is not bad, but the story is absolutely horrible. I don't say it even borders on plagiarism. It is plagiarism. And that's too bad. The clown really is the only thing. Can we pick? Okay, I'm gonna cheat the system here because I actually thought that, Crystal mentioned when he's knocking on the window. I actually thought earlier in that scene she's like outside walking around. She walks around the big wraparound port, and he's coming up over the hill. I thought that was particularly creepy. Yes. I thought that looked really good. Again, there was no reason for him to be there, and we didn't know why and what the hell was going on, but it looked good.
It did.
So I'm going to go with that if I can. But yeah, this is this is not a good movie.
Yeah, not only can you
lawsuits could be filed.
Oh wow! I was going to say, not only can you just did. All right, Jeff Moore. Well, you're up next. What's your final thoughts? Your score, favorite scene for The Luring?
I don't think you want to sue them because you might actually give it some attention. Otherwise, nobody will.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Nope.
Nice.
Nobody will watch it. I'm starting to feel bad.
I know. Wow.
I'm trying to think of what that. I'm going to give it a 1 just because I thought that was like we couldn't go below 1. But
yeah, I thought I couldn't
maybe,
until I got offended.
Till you did. Yeah. Okay. 0.5. I'm giving it a 0.5 because it's just irritating, and all the way through I just wonder, and there's some individual little things that are okay, but it just doesn't fit and it makes no sense. And I don't know, Dave, when you say walking over the hill, are you talking about when the clown, because I was going to say when the clown first appears, when he kind of walks out of the woods. Is that what you mean?
I thought he was coming up over. Yeah. I thought he was coming up over a bluff.
Other little parts of the cloud.
Yeah.
When his left foot was in front of his right foot, it was really scary.
Do you mean
his fifth and sixth step?
I think it's 7th step. Yes.
When you first see him,
oh God,
he just kind of emerges from the trees, and I thought that was great. He just
I think we're talking about the same thing.
Okay, so I should come up with a different one.
Oh God.
No.
I guess
you can have that one. You can have it. I'm going to let you have it.
Okay.
In the interest of time,
I was going to say the paper sniffing. I was going to say the paper sniffing.
Oh, yeah.
Paper sniffing. All right. So now it's my turn. I hate this movie. This movie, insulting. I think that's what I texted to everybody. It was insulting. It's just bad.
Yeah.
What's interesting is I don't think it's poorly made as far as technically. Cinematography is good. I think the direction has some merit to it. It's not the strongest. There's nothing maybe extraordinary about it, but it's not flawed. We see a lot of bad movies that they have to make up in other ways, right? Poorly made movies, I mean, in that respect. And they can elevate with good acting or great special effects or a great score or, just energy. This one doesn't have energy or, the acting. It's really interesting because in most cases it's okay, but there are points where even the ones that are okay fall apart. But it feels like that might have been intentional, and I don't like it. I was gonna give it a 1, and yes, I feel like I could drop it. I could downtick. I could downtick, yeah. But I'm gonna stick with a 1. I'm gonna be that guy. Sorry.
Always following the rules.
I know. I write it down and I just stuck. Favorite scene. I'm going to go with the guy, the realtor when he shows back up at the bar and he starts messing with our guy's head. Because he shows up a couple times and it's interesting. Like, but the time he starts talking about, well, why don't you kill her? Yeah. And he's just so smooth. And the guy's just like, yeah, man, why don't I? And do it.
She deserves it. She's always talking about how gorgeous and peaceful it is.
Oh my God, he's so trash talking her. Oh God, what a dick. All right, enough. That's The Luring. It is. It's from, what is it, Wild Eye?
Wild Eye release.
Wild Eye. You've released some awesome stuff. I mean, come on, Velocipaster, some amazing stuff. Just not this one.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why they chose it. I mean, there is merit in some of, but obviously not in this group. This group, no. All right, it's out June 16th. So as we're recording this, it's out now. So as you're listening, it should be out now.
So you can avoid it right away.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to say something, share your thoughts. We want to hear from you. Leave some comments down below. If you like this podcast, or this video here as you're listening, because we're doing this podcast on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. if you like it down below, and if you want to hit the bell and set it up correctly. I'm so confused. YouTube keeps changing things. I think you have to actually say you have to go and check it to say notify, but do that, and so you can be notified when we do the next one. And I'm so glad you're here. If you want to reach out to us in other ways, you can you can email us at feedback@gruesomemagazine.com. You can go to gruesomemagazine.com site, leave us something interesting, find a Facebook group. Oh, there'll be links down below. Just look down below. With that, Jeff Moore, nice. Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, my buddy Dave Dreher. I want to thank you so much for being here tonight.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
We should change clothes between the episodes.
So we look different. Yeah.
Okay.
We should all wear each other's. We should all wear each other's clothes.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. What? That's TikTok. That's TikTok. We're not doing TikTok. All right. Let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.